Okay, now he won't take off with it. You'll see it says no oil. Folks, so we're gonna be on the road today. We're gonna jump in my hoopty here. We're gonna run over to Matt's house. We've got something to take care of before he gets to go on a trip, and we're gonna figure out what is wrong with the lockers in his 2012 Dodge Power Wagon. So let's roll. Welcome back to another episode of Corey's Garage. What we're working with today, 2012 Dodge Power Wagon. Now you guys may have recognized this throughout the time period of my YouTube channel. This is Matt's truck. And you got to be asking yourself, well, what are you doing with it today? Well, this truck has an issue that I believe is pretty common within the Rubicon Jeeps, all these kind of trucks. And what you may not know about this one, this is a little bit different than any other 2500 pickup truck. This thing is an actual Dodge Power Wagon, and you probably ask, well, what's a Power Wagon? Well, you know, they made the Power Wagons back in the old days, and I don't know, I would imagine in the 40s up to the 50s. Well, they started making them in the 60s and 70s, and last I've seen was like the 70s Power Wagons. But anyways, they fired up this model, 2003, and I believe it went from 03 to 09, and then from 09 to 12, I believe. I may be wrong on that. But this is a 2012, and what makes these special is it has 456 gears. It comes with 285 tires factory. It has lockers, electronic sway bar disconnect. And what makes this one even better is this is kind of the stripped down version. I believe this is the tradesman style one with the rubber floor mats. Really, the only options it has is a decent stereo and power windows. The truck now has around 130K on it. He's used it to go everywhere from Tennessee. We've took it to Arizona. He's taken Montana, several Colorado trips. This thing has actually been used for what it was designed for. Well, the problem we're at here today is the lockers don't work in it. When you hit the button to try to electronically lock them, it just flashes. It's not doing anything. Well, what we found out on the forums and everything is that it's got magnets for the electronic lockers in there, and they're dirty. So this truck hasn't had a diff service yet. So what I'm going to do today, since this truck will be leaving out this weekend to go to Colorado, it is now Thursday, and like all of us, we get swamped up with work, and we have to get our work stuff done before we go play. So I'm going to jump on this and try to get ahead of this, and we'll try to get these lockers figured out, because if any of you guys have been to Colorado or anything, it's a pretty treacherous area. So he's going to need them. So let's get this thing in, check it out, and see what's going on. Also, this truck, if you noticed, it has 37-inch tires. So it came factory with like 33s on it. He's went to the KM3s on it, 37s. So it's crazy to think that this truck is that big, that an actual set of 37-inch tires looks proper. So it just shows you from what the trucks came from all over the years, the smaller bodies. The bodies just keep getting bigger and bigger, but this thing is a beast, man. So let's get it in the garage and let's get started. All right, so we're inside here. I'm gonna fire this rig up. So the issue is, and I'll be honest with you, I have never locked this thing. I haven't done any four-wheeling with it. I've just mainly driven it and pulled stuff with it. But the problem he's having is the lockers won't engage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this truck and put it in four-wheel drive. Let's just go ahead and put it in four to low. Okay. Low range activated. All right. So we're still in neutral. So axle unlock. Let's do rear lock. Let's do front and rear lock. We get the flashing light. See, what it's supposed to do is when you lock those axles in, it's supposed to say solid. But obviously, it's not doing it, and they don't lock. So that is what we're going to do. We're suspicioning the magnets are dirty on it. Some say the connector may be corroded or something like that, but the most common is those magnets are dirty. So, and it's due for a, service on the axles, change fluid and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so let's get this thing. See, why is it still flashing on that? So yeah, let's get this in the garage. Let's get after it. So as you can see, the microphone, something has messed up where you can't hear sound. So what we have here is this is the Dodge AAM 10.5 axle as reviewed by the VIN number on this vehicle. It's 456 gears. It's got the electric locker with like a limited slip in it as well. So let's get ready to pull this cap. We're going to drain the fluid and see what we got going on. Did I also mention too, by the time you guys watch this truck will be about 7,000 feet higher than what it is right now in elevation, because it will be on the hunting range. So aha, the sound still isn't working. So moving on, we have got the cap off. So far so good, looking pretty clean. That is the ring gear. Got some factory markings there. And did I mention that this has a limited slip style differential with the electric locking setup? And you can see right there that the magnet, pretty corroded. Now for 130,000 miles, I mean, it's normal for it to have some, I guess, wear in. But maybe it might be a good idea, like 50,000 miles, to do a diff fluid change and not let it get that much, metal in it, because it makes sense that being brand new, it's going to have some metal in the oil, so maybe that's something. But I mean, I'm sure everybody's not changing their grease that early. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and clean these off, get all that metal off of it. This is my first time to mess with something quite like this. But yeah, that's definitely got some metal shavings in it. But again, pretty rad setup Dodge has done with these, though. It would have been really cool if they would have made like a single cab short bed four-wheel drive rig like this. That would have probably sold very, very well. But yeah, let's dig some of that out of there. Ugh. Yeah, it definitely's got some stuff in it, but it makes sense too. A magnet would catch all that debris. That's why there's a magnet that's on the diff covers to take care of that. I don't know if I also stated as well as the plug-ins too. They probably need to be unplugged and cleaned. I didn't do that because so far it looks to me like the magnets are the issue on this, so I didn't mess with any of the plug-ins on it. But it'd be a good idea. On top of the axle there's a plug-in, and if you see right there. So now after 2 cans of brake clean, we can do some more inspection. We can see some more factory markings. But it cleaned up very, very well. A lot of darker, I mean, the fluid was pretty clean, but it just had a lot of just crud in there, you know what I mean? Like the black that you see kind of embedded in the cast iron. But all in all, it looked pretty good. I definitely, I'm pretty sure it's going to work. But yeah, looking pretty well. Looks definitely a lot of beef in there. Pretty stout. Yes, pretty stout truck. It's definitely interesting to see how they run the wires through there and do all that kind of stuff. I have not messed with an air-locked vehicle yet or anything quite like that. So basically on the front end, it's basically a rinse and repeat. This is the Dodge AAM 9 1/4 front axle. All right, the caps are back on. Everything's back together. I gotta go pick up my little mini-me from school. So this is something you guys should always do if a vehicle doesn't have any oil in the axles or transmission or motor or whatever. Because Matt will be finishing this job up. So I'm gonna put no oil. He'll know what that means. But because it'd be easy for some miscommunication to go down and him jump in and take off with no grease in the axles and melt these wonderful 456 gears with lockers out. So I'm gonna put that, okay, I'm gonna put that right up here where he can see it. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Come on now. See it in real time, guys. Okay, now he won't take off with it. He'll see it says no oil. Now he won't burn up his axles and he'll be going, hopefully, to get an elk. So yeah, more from Matt.
All right, it's the next day. Corey got it all cleaned up. We're gonna try and get it filled up. All right, we'll see how much of a mess we can make. Let's see, this might be a two-handed operation. All right, so this has fluid fill level on here. I guess you just stick your finger in there and see if you can fill fluid. I don't know. But this is the third quart. We'll see if that gets it. Okay, so this super scientific method of yeah, we can fill it, so I guess it's there. Call it good, I reckon. All right, looks like it's got a magnet on it. It had stuff on it, so I cleaned that off. We'll call this good. Drive it a little bit, and then test it. All right, looks like it's got a magnet on it. It had stuff on it, so I cleaned that off. We'll call this good. Drive it a little bit, and then test it. All right, so we got it all filled up. And for anybody that's curious, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quarts. And this one, just a little bit, but it was also kind of flowing out on the front. So 5 would have been real close. All right, that's a beautiful sight. So far so good. It hasn't shown that correctly in about a year. Probably should have done this a little while back. All right, so since our lockers still are flashing, we're gonna try this plug right here on the rear differential housing. Going to clean it out. Got some electric connector cleaner stuff, and then put some dielectric grease in there. Hopefully that'll work. We'll see. I'll probably just end up breaking this and drive the truck off a cliff. Okay, we got this open. I don't know if you can see it, but it definitely looks like there's a little bit of water in this. And where it plugs in is pretty dirty. Let's see if I can see up in there. Not really, but hopefully that's the problem. We're gonna get that cleaned out, put some dielectric grease in there, see what it does. All right, this is what we're gonna use. It's got a plug on the front, so it has to work, right? All right, now we've made it up here to the front. You can see sway bar here, winch, and got this connection, I believe, may be the culprit. I've already worked that back and forth a few times to get it apart. If you're curious how that works, I'm not quite sure yet either, but it was all the way this way to start with. Push that down in the middle, and I've just been trying to work this back and forth to get the mud and junk out of this. Mine has a zip tie around it. I'm guessing that has to come off because it won't come out. It looks like it does, so let's do that. We'll see if there's water in here, anything burned up. If so, I guess we won't have lockers in Colorado because we've only got a few days. I guess we'll find out.
All right, guys, so that's the end of that video. We changed all the diff fluid, cleaned the magnets on that Power Wagon, and Matt went ahead and cleaned all the connectors and everything because it was having a problem where it still wasn't exactly locking in. But as you're watching this now, they're up in Colorado. So far, from what I've heard from him, it's functioning. It's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Now, he is going to do the Able bypass, where it'll make it where you can select the lockers without, you know, having all that kind of safety features or whatever. I think that has to be made by the guy who does it, but we'll do a video when he gets that in. That way he can put the lockers in 4 high, whatever, and it'd be more usable and everything. So if you like what we did, like I said, this video could have used a little bit better fine tuning, but you know, it is what it is. So yeah, hit that subscribe button, and we've got plenty of other stuff going. Getting ready to embark on a journey in that thing. Got some more work to do. It's turning to be kind of a pain in the butt. So thanks, guys.